Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of this movie, the day that birth blew up a Looney Tunes movie. This movie has been stuck in development hell, but not really development hell, mostly just being stuck in limbo because the people over at Warner Brothers completely cleaned house with their whole animation division, and you all guys already know the state it's in right now, with Coyote versus Acme being put off, Bye Bye Bunny just completely disappearing. But this was the one film that squeaked by and was picked up by a company named Ketchup Entertainment, and finally, after quite a few years, finally released in theaters. And what did I think of it? Guys, this is not only one of the funniest movies that have come out this year, but probably my favorite Looney Tunes movie to date.
Absolute cinema!
First of all, the Looney Tunes franchise is in a really, really bad state. At the time of me recording this, the Looney Tunes, everything regarding to Looney Tunes has been taken off of Max. And, they own the Looney Tunes. That doesn't even make any sense. But in terms of this movie needs to do well. Thankfully, the movie has some uppraise having it. It's had uppraise having it for a while, but now that it's released to American audiences, including me, I can back up this film. The film, starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, you'd expect there to be Bugs Bunny and everything like that, but oh my god, they both did such an amazing job. They really stole the show. And regarding this movie in particular, this might be the most laughs I've heard out of an animated movie in so long. And it wasn't even just kids, there were grown adults laughing at these jokes. Sure, some of them kinda didn't really land, but you can tell that the Looney Tunes style of humor still lives up to this day and people still find it funny. And it was like every few minutes a joke came up and it was just laughing out loud, and towards the climax, oh my god, it was crazy. But the animation itself, this is just some smooth 2D animation. Now, people will say, actually, the last 2D animated movie that released would technically be that Teen Titans Go movie back in 2018, but that was done using Flash. That was a different form. This is traditional animation, and we have not seen this in, I don't even want to check how long. But it was just stunning. It was really, really well done. Every shot was really, really beautiful. And everything just came together super nicely. This was the perfect type of movie to use traditional animation on, being Looney Tunes. There were so many things they did with it that it was just great. And the soundtrack was also slapping. They had some old songs, some new songs. It all came together really well. And getting into just general things with, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig and just this whole movie's plot in general. This movie is basically not your run-of-the-mill alien plotline, but you've seen this before, but it's done in a new way with Looney Tunes that makes it feel fresh. It revolves around this alien that sends down this meteorite that starts to take over humans, and the human vessels they use for it is this gum company. This gum is very prevalent throughout the entire movie, and it's what controls all these zombies and stuff like that. And we actually get to see Daffy and Porky Pig's origins in this movie, which I wasn't expecting. And we get to see how Porky Pig got the stutter, and oh my god, it was so funny. I'm not getting into how it happened, but we find out how he got his stutter, and oh my god, that's when I started cackling in the beginning of the movie. They had this whole section between them and basically their caretaker, Farmer Jim, and the way he's just animated, I guess you could say, the joke lands so well, it's so stiff, and then at the end he turns to this traditional animation. The jokes are done so well. It makes sense because the director of Uncle Grandpa did this movie. Back to back, it's crazy that we've had two animated movie released that turned out amazing, both done by TV show creators. It's just great to see. But one thing in this movie that, again, I wasn't expecting, just from a Looney Tunes in general movie, is the emotional moments between Daffy and Porky Pig. They've been together since the beginning, and there's things that drift their friendship apart that I won't be getting into details with, but you really do feel for their relationship. We have this new character introduced, basically being Porky's love interest, but she was actually a really interesting character. She worked at the gum factory, and her personality really bounced off of Daffy and Porky really well. And we're not going to talk about how Twitter's been reacting to her character and comparing her to Lola Bunny. We're not going down that path, guys. We're just gonna leave it alone. As for the villain of the movie, I actually had a lot more fun than I thought I was gonna have with her. She did seem like your generic alien villain, from the trailers at least, and we'll get into the trailers later. But I actually found a lot of her moments genuinely funny, and there's things you won't be expecting with this movie. I, again, won't get into specifics, but this movie's ending isn't gonna turn out as what you may think it'll turn out with. I'll just leave it at that. And, you know, it all comes together really well in the finale of the movie. And, you know, they kind of send it off, not getting into the details of the ending, but they send it off of, hey, this movie could get a sequel. And, you know, sitting in the theater, hearing that, it really made me just sit there and be like, there's a really, really good chance this movie does not get a sequel at all. The people over at Warner Brothers have just been sabotaging this movie from the start. Personally, in my opinion, the first teaser that released for this movie was horrible. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but the first teaser that came out for the movie was horrible. It was the horrible way of marketing the movie, and this was the chance for them to really market this movie well. It was around the season of Mufasa and Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and a bunch of families were in the theater, so they'd see this trailer, and the trailer they gave was just horrible. They did a better time with the second trailer, but it was already too late. It was mid-February. So the first teaser mostly focused on a lot of the jokes that really didn't land. A lot of basically gross out humor, which isn't everyone's cup of tea. But that wasn't the entire movie. They really left out a lot of genuinely funny parts. And I wish they did a better job with that trailer. And ever since then, Warner Brothers has just not been marketing this movie at all. The internet has had to do it, and the only thing that's been marketed is through movie previews, some commercials. I haven't run into TV spots, but apparently some people have. It's very, very sad, and I thought DreamWorks was somewhat bad at marketing. This is abysmal. And at the time of me recording this, the box office opening weekend was just okay. It made $5 million worldwide, but at the same time, the budget was $15 million. So it would need to make $30 million just to make its budget back. And based on how, you know, the marketing isn't really turning out for this movie, if this movie flops, we might not see anything from the Looney Tunes for a good while. I know Warner Brothers won't be dropping the IP, that's their main character. I mean, I hope they don't. That's like if Disney dropped Mickey Mouse. But if this movie flops, I do think that Looney Tunes might be put on a hiatus, because the currently running Looney Tunes show just ended 2 years ago, Looney Tunes Cartoons, and this is the last piece of Looney Tunes content. Even in the marketing on Twitter, it's literally tagline, "Save the Looney Tunes by saving this movie." And it's really crazy to think about that this could be it. So I really advocate to go see this movie. You will have a good time. I'm telling you right now, you will have a good time. The movie is funny, it has its heartfelt moments, and it's a plot you can be engaged with. It's just a great movie. And I can't wait for this movie to come on digital, because I'm going to be rewatching this movie quite a lot. And the pacing was done really well. That's one thing I kind of left out. A good paced movie. Let's go. But in my opinion, The Day the Earth Blew Up is an easy 9 out of 10. It is just great. Please go out and see this movie. The movie needs all its support it can get. And, you know, this weekend, I know it's going to be a little weird with Snow White releasing, so the slots are going to go down. But if this movie is anywhere near close to you, please go out and see it and support this movie. And because really, the Looney Tunes future really does depend on this movie. But if you've seen The Day the Earth Blew Up, what did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. And thank you guys so much for 60,000 subscribers. Wow. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.